Well, that was fun. Internet connection died. Why am I talking? There's nobody in here. Go live. Sorry about that, fellas. Internet connection died. And that's the second time today that's happened, which is irritating. Very irritating. So, I'm going to give it a few more minutes and let's. If you had asked a question in the chat earlier and I didn't get to it before my connection died, post it back in there again, and we'll get back to it. So I don't, I've known I've needed a new modem for a little while here now. Usually with AT&T, seems like you got to have them come out and give you a new modem about once every year and a half, 2 years or so. And it's about that time, and unfortunately, for reasons that we've already talked about, I don't want anybody coming into my house here at the moment. So Doug Matson says, Doug from Florida, how are you doing? Not so good today. I'm doing fine, actually. I'm doing pretty good today. I hope that everybody else is doing well, including you. So yeah, I have no complaints. I'm doing great. So internet connection just died unexpectedly, but that's if that's the worst thing that happens to me today, I'll probably be doing okay. Nope, don't want that. Download. I'm sorry, guys. I'm messing with a couple of my OBS settings here because for some reason Okay. OBS has this thing called widgets that I'm trying to implement here because I think they're kind of cool. Not the coolest thing I've ever seen, but kind of cool, kind of sort of. Click to read your unread notifications. Yes, I am aware the stream was disconnected. Super chat. Okay, where were we? Like I said, if you had a question that was in the chat here earlier before I got disconnected, before my internet went out on me, ask it again and I'll get to it because I think there was at least a few that I hadn't gotten to yet. No Smith says, Robert, what do you think of Ibanez? I like Ibanez guitars quite a bit. They were kind of the original shredder guitar company. really. I mean, they started out, making, basically making Gibson, Gibson copies. Then of course, there's a few Gibson lawsuit Ibanez's from the 70s that are out there that are actually really, really good guitars. But yeah, I like Ibanez guitars quite a bit. I think the only one that I own is the Xiphos that I have, and you guys have seen that one in my videos. But I like them quite a bit, man. They are, I think for the most part, well made. There's a few clunkers out there, but you're going to have that with, I think just about any guitar brand. But for the most part, I think they're well made, really across all the price points. Honestly, they've got a couple of $300, $400, $500 guitars, $400, $500, $600 guitars that I've been eyeballing here recently. So, I'm not going to buy a guitar anytime soon. I mean, I've got one. I have a guitar on back order right now that's probably not going to ship for. At this point, it's probably not going to ship out for another couple. Probably at least for another couple of months. So. I've got that. That once that one comes around, I'll be. I'll spend a few months paying that off, and then I'm probably going to be done buying gear for a while. So, hopefully, my channel. I'm actually trying real hard to grow my channel right now because I want to be able to get noticed by some larger companies and be able to start working with them and having somebody else provide the gear that I'm doing demos for you guys with instead of me having to provide it all the time. So. Let's see. We're pretty poor here today, also. Hang in there. Yep, Doug, I hope your day gets better, man. S36 says, "What is your favorite guitar string brands and what string gauges? Did you ever use or tested those Hot Tone Nano Legacy amp series?" I guess I've played through one or two of them. What was the purple one? I think they called the Purple Wind. That was like their old, like it was supposed to be like a model of or a clone of not a clone, because it's that big, but it's a model of like an old Plexi, Jimi Hendrix style Plexi or JTM or something like that. I played one of those and it was pretty cool. They have their thing, but I don't. That's like I said. That's one of those amps that's. I don't know. I guess I don't have anything negative to say about it. Just really not my thing. But what are your favorite string brands and what string gauges? I actually prefer light. I've been an Ernie Ball guy for most of my life, and I do use other brands of strings sometimes. I've been actually experimenting with the Elixir Polywebs on a lot of guitars. Not a lot, but some guitars here recently. The Polyweb coating is the heaviest coating that Elixir makes. So I've been experimenting with those, with that. And as far as what gauge, I tend to prefer lighter gauge strings. That all depends on what tuning that I'm setting a particular guitar up in. I just restrung and recorded a couple of videos with one of my BC Riches that I hadn't played much here lately, and that's actually one of the few guitars that I keep tuned to standard E. And I watched that Rick Beato video here a month or two ago, where he was talking about tightening up the low end by going with lighter gauge strings, and he and Rhett Scholl and there was a couple other people there that conducted an experiment. And you listen to that video with a good pair of headphones, and I think you'll hear a difference. I certainly did. And so believe it or not, on my the BC Rich that I just mentioned, because that's one I keep tuned standard E. I actually put 8 gauge strings on it, and I like it. I like the sound of it. It's getting used to playing strings that light is taking a little bit of getting used to, but I like it quite a bit. And beyond that, usually I'll use either 9 to 42 or 9 to 46 on just about everything else. Really low tunings. like drop C, and and below I'll go like 10 to 46 or 10 to 52 or something. I don't go too much heavier than that. I'm not a heavy string. I don't like having to. The heavier gauge strings are really, really hard to bend, and that's uncomfortable for me. So I tend to prefer lighter gauge strings for that reason, and yeah. So there's that. Matt Maruzik says, have you ever played a Roger Mayer Octavia? Could you tell me if it's much different from the Joy Voodoo Octave you demoed? Oh, God. I've never played one of the Roger Mayer Octavias. They're, I hate fuzz pedals anyway. If you haven't watched this channel for a while, let it be known I hate fuzz pedals. I demo one every now and again. I made a video of the Fuzz Factory specifically to make fun of it and piss people off. But I'm not an authority on fuzz pedals at all. The Joy Voodoo Octave, actually, I did like it. I did find a couple, some uses for it, even for me. But it's never something like that's never gonna be something that's my go-to guitar tone. And honestly, the octave switch, the octave function on that pedal is all but useless. So it doesn't sound very good at all. TND Fam says, do you have some more top worst ever? Worst ever video. I thought about doing another one of those, man, but honestly, I haven't been able to think of anything. And those videos are so much better if I'm not forcing them. Like the worst Christmas gifts video ever. That was one that I just kind of had it started out as just a goofy idea, and and I sat down in front of the camera and started cracking jokes, and and then next thing I know, it took off on me and did really well. But when I sit down and I try to force a video like that, there's a couple of boundaries that I will not cross. I'm not, I will not take pot shots at other guitar players. I'll make fun of gear all day long, but I won't. If you're waiting for a worst guitar players ever video, it's never going to happen. At least not from me. So I thought about doing some other ones here, doing another one here recently, and I would like to do one. I just the right idea hasn't come to me yet. So I've already done guitars, I've already done amps, I've already done custom guitars, I've already done pedals. So we'll see. I suppose I could do like cables or picks or something like that. Let's face it, that bore the shit out of even me. Sad to hear about Neil Peart, may he rest in peace. I got his book called The Ghost Rider, great book. Yeah, I was pretty sad to hear about that too. Actually at my office, the guy that sits directly across from me is a drummer, and he's a few years older than me, but I mean that because we all heard the news at the same time, and that poor guy was in tears when he heard, and even he was surprised at his own reaction. But he was right. He said there's the greatest in the world, and then there's him. I was fortunate enough to get to see Neil Peart live several times myself, and when they announced their retirement last year, I think we all knew that was going to be it. But around when I guess it's been a couple of years ago now, so. I didn't realize that he was having those kinds of health problems. It was sad to see him go. You're right. He was one of the greatest ever. Famous Dave says my dad bought me a uke for Christmas. Was real proud of himself. You should grow a beard of doom like Kirk of Crowbar. Never happen. That will never happen. You know, the amount of beard that you see on me is probably the most that I'm ever going to grow. I can't, you know, long ass beards that, you know, look like, you know, you got something living in there. Nope. I have no interest. I have no interest. I don't think it's cool at all. I don't think it's, you know, the lumberjack. No thanks. Joey Van Ostrand's here. He says, "Hi Robert, have you ever heard of Schenkenstein pedals? We met Facebook group. He custom made me the best chorus pedal I've ever owned. $100, well worth it." No, I'm not familiar with them. You know, the truth is, I mean, there's boutique pedal builders, private pedal builders popping up all over the place right now, and it's real difficult to keep up with them. Keep up with them all. You know, there's a few of them that I've noticed that are starting to gain some steam here recently, like the high wind amplification. You know, they've got that new overdrive pedal, and I had actually talked with them a few months back. They were going to send me their that overdrive pedal they got out, which, you know, the something Wolf. I have to look it up now. I can't remember. Here, let me find out, because I don't want to. Let me look that up, because that's a pretty hot pedal on the market right now. I went Direwolf, the Direwolf Overdrive. That's what it's called. I had actually spoken to him about demoing those several months back, 6 months or so ago, but it never happened. So it's too bad. I was actually looking. It's actually a really interesting. I mean, it's a tube screamer circuit, but it's actually a really interesting pedal. It does a lot more than a tube screamer will. So. Members said, "Yeah, my sister-in-law bought me a uke. Does she think I'm a dork or something?" Rockin' Dave Byron's here. He says, "Hey Robert, and all greetings from Southwest Florida. Hope y'all are safe." Same to you, sir. Same to you. I hope you guys are staying safe down there as well. You guys especially. I mean, you're one of those guys that's out gigging all the time. So, I can only imagine how this has got to be affecting you guys. This quarantine business, that is. Famous Dave says, "I'm looking for exercises to really force me to get better with my speed." I would suggest running track. Like, sprint, short sprints. Because, that will help you get better with your speed. And it's also killer exercise. I had a track coach in high school that damn near killed me. Let's see. Manuel let me see if I can pronounce this last name. Manuel Mariduena says, "Hello, I have a question. How good are Sound City 210 cabs with eminent speakers, rectangle, England versus my Fender FM412? Your Fender FM412 and a Sound City 210 cab. Well, the FM412 is a combo amp. So, if you're just talking about just the speaker portion of that combo amp versus the Sound City, anything's awesome. Sound City are a great brand. It's on a different level from that FM412. Let's see. My mom gifted me a pick cutter. Mom gifted me a pick cutter when I graduated. Oh yeah, a lot of people. There's a lot of people that commented on that. I like my pick punch. And I don't understand how people run out of guitar picks so that they gotta go cut a guitar pick out of a credit card or a, you know, empty jug of bleach or something. I don't understand how, how that happens. I've got picks on top of. I'm not going to run out of guitar picks for probably 10 years at least. What did I miss? Was booted out of this video. Sorry about that, guys. Not optimal bullshit. Sorry, fellas. Battery in my camera died. Where were we? Okay, at least it didn't. Looks like I still got the cat stream back. I don't know how many people we still got in here. Yeah. Quarantine literally shut down all the bars and restaurants. Real sad. Thoughts on the guitar player Neil Young? Neil Young's fantastic, man. I like Neil Young. "Rockin' in the Free World" is one of the greatest rock anthems ever. I've been in a couple of bands where we played that song, cover bands that is, obviously, and there's one or two of those bands actually I insisted that we played it. I like Neil Young quite a bit. Certainly he's not a technical monster by any means, but he is certainly a great guitar player. Do it again. What do you think about Rich One Feather says, what do you think about snatching bargain Craigslist guitars from guys trying to cover bills right now? I kind of feel guilty when looking. Yeah, I'm the same way, man. I can't, it's sad, and it's even I think what's even sadder is you not only you got people that are that are really taking advantage of other people that are just trying to scrape together any sell their possessions like that for for less, and in some cases far less than what they're actually worth, just to just because they're trying to get wherever they can for quick, and you've got other people that are not in that situation taking advantage of them, and that's I think that's pretty sad, man. If you're finding a good deal is one thing, but taking advantage of somebody else's misfortune is it takes a pretty special a pretty special I don't know what's the word I'm looking for, douchebag, I guess, to to do that. I don't know how people sleep at night. So yeah, no, I wouldn't do that either. I gotta yeah, says we're still good. Stream is healthy. I don't know why we're buffering. Unmute. Excellent connection. Weird. Okay. Vaping is a poor man's smoke machine. My wife's actually making me quit here as soon as I run out of vape juice. So, Ronnie Webster says, "Hey Robert, how are you? I'm doing okay, fighting, internet connections, and I got to assume a lot of these, these internet problems. I've got to assume are just YouTube servers being overran because everybody's streaming right now. So, that's pretty. That's the only thing I can figure. So I usually don't have this much trouble with this, but oh, this is what it is." Did you ever see the movie Spinal Tap? Yes, I saw it once and it was so ridiculous. I actually not one of my favorite movies. It was funny, but I don't need to see it twice. I noticed all the deals disappeared once I got my stimulus. Yep. Yeah, the other thing I've noticed, is on the douchebag commentary here a minute ago, the other thing that I have noticed is people who are who are listing their used gear for the same price as full retail plus plus shipping, and using the excuse with Amazon shipping delays as their justification for doing so. So now you got people price gouging all over the place, and it's just God, it's unbelievable. Unbelievable. So, God, this ain't telling me how many. 6 people. Yeah. Okay. Well, I don't think the internet's going to want to cooperate with me too much more here today on the Saturday afternoon. So I got done what I need to get done, what I wanted to get done anyway. So the main thing I wanted to do was test out this capture card and hang out with you guys here for a little bit. So, and it's kind of sort of working, but not great, not as well as I would like for it to anyway. So, a few bugs to work out, but it's getting there. Just trying to, so, alrighty. And that's just frozen, which is annoying as hell. Stream is healthy. Yes. I don't know, top chat thing. Pop out, chat, toggled. Participants. Okay. Yeah. So, alrighty. Thanks for hanging with me here for a while today, guys. I gotta get to editing so that I can have the rest of my Saturday evening and the rest of my weekend free. And, yeah. So, thanks for hanging with me, and we will do this again real soon, very likely, probably next week. So, time permitting anyway. So, thanks guys. Have a great weekend. Stay safe.